going to have them
settle down inside the
They get kind of jelly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like lasagna.
That's
And then it, have you ever got it?
And see, and this, by the way, if it's like this, to where it's just warm to the touch, it's very easy to work with. I mean, if you tried to do this, take it out of the oven and then try and do this just before. I mean,
it
would be a real problem. Okay, ready? Okay. All right. Now this is the back end of the turkey, and each of these are thighs. And what we have is part of the backbone, and then we have which would be your bone from your waist down to your leg, down to your knee, and this was the knee of the turkey, and we just took that off. Now,
did you snap the back in half, or did you cut it?
No, it just broke right in half like that. Okay. Now this part, what we're going to do is we're going to reach in there, and that is the thigh bone, and this muscle right here. This is the part of the back, and the other muscle up around your hip. So this is the hip of the turkey, and then with this thigh bone, as you see there, you might have to cut just slightly, and you'll see it sitting right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to feel in there. Take that thigh bone out. We're going to try and leave this as much together as possible, so that we have that thigh looking like that. And we don't care if we get a little bit of meat left on the bone, because we'll just take that and pull it off, and we'll put it underneath and kind of hide it there. Now, as we peek underneath here, you would see the grain of this thigh. If I pull it apart, you'll see that the thigh the grain is running up and down like this, right? I mean, that's the way. And if it were sitting there like we normally would have it, like this, and we cut it, then we're cutting right with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we cut right directly across, so that we got some real tender pieces.
Skin on it.
It does look juicy, right? I was worried that it was real juicy. It stayed in the turkey.
That looks quite tasty.
Yeah.
Okay, and the bigger these guys are, the better they look. I mean, this is going to look like a big chicken. But and then here again, this is the backbone, and then it has the thigh bone, and we're going to break that right there. And anything that's here, that we're going to take everything off, so it's just all cleaned up nice. Then again, the bone is running right here. And this is probably the hardest part right there, is taking that bone out, just reaching in and breaking it off the backbone. It's not hard, but I mean, that's the part that people have more trouble with than any. Now again, here's the grain running like this, so we're going to take this little guy. And so there's our cut up thigh. Now, we'll get our now we want to also have the appearance that this is a turkey. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off like from the elbow up. So this is like the turkey's elbow right here, and it's these little wing at the front. Did you know that? So we're going to take that and we're going to stick him right there. And there's not a whole lot of meat on there anyway, so there it is like that. And then what we're going to do, well, let's get this guy off, because there's quite a bit of meat here. We're going to go into the joint and take this guy off. And this is going to be meat that we're just going to put down here on the bottom. But we'll get all the meat that's on the turkey, it'll all be down here, so that we won't have any problems with it. And then the rest of this stuff can be boiled. You know, if you want to make some kind of great soup,
I don't, what are those bones called that you're taking out right now?
Well, this is from,
Oh, just the upper half?
yeah, this
Okay.
is from the shoulder down to the elbow, if you were.
Because it doesn't quite show that on the picture anymore.
Oh, it does, you just
It
can't
does?
read
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I always blame Rosemary for that picture. I tried to draw it and tell her what it was, and then she took what I got, and, I mean, it's tough to make this thing look
Yeah.
like this when you're drawing a picture of it,
Yeah.
especially if you're not good at drawing.
We'll just
Okay,
look and
now-
watch the video again.
Here
it's
you
coming
can,
to mind.
there's meat all over this little guy that you want to get off, and this stuff you want to put on the bottom and hide it. And then whoever doesn't get the good looking stuff at the dinner, they have to eat the bad stuff.
That always tastes good.
But yeah, it's,
That's
No.
the part I like.
Okay, now this part, if you can picture this, I mean, there is the breastbone, and we find the breastbone, and we say, okay, what we're going to do is we go down until we hit the ribs, and then we just kind of push and go around the ribs like that until we
Okay,
take it
close
off.
to the,
that
Okay, so
breast.
you're not cutting through it, you're cutting right to the side of it.
See, I cut right.
Okay.
See, there's the breastbone.
Okay,
So I cut down into it, and then I found where the ribs were. Here's all the
Okay.
ribs.
okay.
So I cut down here, and then I start pushing away so that.
Okay.
And I don't care if I don't get it all, because I'm just
Yeah.
going to take this off anyway,
I'll put it on
and I'm
the
going to
bottom.
put right here anyway. So if I don't get it all, that's fine.
Well, you're good, you don't even pop any in your mouth.
Okay, now, see, this guy's like this, right? Typically, we're going to cut this thing down like this, but if you peek up underneath again, see, can you see the grains right there?
Yeah.
If I pull that apart, can you see them? There, you can see, now you can see the grains.
Okay, okay, I see that,
That's,
okay.
that's like long celery.
All right.
Okay, so what we want to do is now we're going to make them little short pieces of celery.
Carver would have sit in there whole like that.
You would, at restaurants, they always would have a way to go and have hummus, or you buy.
So you need the skin on it.
Pardon?
Your
For looks.
Well, only for looks.
Well,
Only
those are-
for looks. If you want to
My
take,
family loves it.
Yeah.
if you want to take the skin off, you're more than
I do
welcome
too,
to
I've
take the
given
skin
them
off. It makes it look pretty when you dress it up. It really looks pretty to have that
It
on
just
it.
looks pretty to have it on.
You know, it's amazing too how much you get out of a turkey like this. I mean, people say, "Geez, I got so much more turkey out of this." Well, the reason is you got every little bit that could possibly be.
It just looks so just like that.
So what do you figure, a third a pound per person?
Pardon?
Fourth pound per person?
Usually it depends on whether you have how many kids, women, and because they're the ones that are, the guys are always going to eat about 4 ounces a piece. I mean, a guy will always eat 4 ounces, but a child and a woman will only eat like 2.5 to maximum 3 ounces per person. But see, the thing that you understand about this is that if you get a turkey, a 20-pound turkey, you're only going to get like about 9.5 pounds of meat.
Less than half.
Oh, less than half.
Okay.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
that's right, 20 pounds, yeah. Yeah.
so what you figure is that if your 27-pound turkey, just less than half of that is what you'll get. So you'll get about 13 pounds.
So that big.
And then you got, so you
You
got
say
12
4
times
ounces.
16 will give you, whatever that is, which will give you, let's say it's 200 and some ounces. And then you say, okay, I know that not everybody's going to eat 4 ounces, not everybody's going to eat 2.5, so I'm going to figure that I'm going to feed them 3 ounces or 3.5 ounces average. And you take that into the 200 and some ounces. You say,
I'm sorry, I'm just writing down the notes.
You taught my kids now.
I do, and I can figure out
If
figure
it's
out what I
a
need to
20-pound
know.
turkey, you're talking about 20 pounds of whole turkey.
yeah, if you buy a 20-pound, and then too, let me tell you, that we had the neck and we had the gizzard and the liver and that all, they count as weight. And you take that out, and that's almost a half a pound. So if you buy a 20-pound turkey, you know that right immediately you're losing half a pound just in the big long neck they stick in the cabbage.
So 10 pounds for that.
Yeah, you would have, you're gonna lose, never plan on even 50, it's gotta be like 45, 46% is what you're gonna end up with in usable meat. Okay, and here we go again. We're going to find the breastbone,
That's fine.
and we're gonna push it away, push it away.
But you need sandwiches.
53
Pardon?
You better have enough.
Right.
Yeah, has to have sandwiches. Yeah,
You just imagine how much you can have for dinner and it's like twice that much.
You want leftovers?
Now, if you're doing roasts,
30-pound turkey, we don't have a lot left.
okay, I won't tell
40
you.
people.
Oh, do you? I want to hear.
Oh, no. Exactly, but we don't have a
If
lot
you're,
of our stuff. Wait a minute.
would you tell this one to just,
We're doing math over here.
Right.
if you're doing things like pork, because we just did that for that lady last night, and they had 20 pounds of pork, and they only ended up with, what was it, 14 pounds out of 20 pounds. You lose 30% of pork, because it's, and beef, if you cook it a long time, like this, you're only gonna lose 20% of beef, if you do it for a long time. Now, if you do it quick, then you're gonna lose at least 25 or 30, depending on how fast you cook, depends on how much you're gonna lose, because it forces the juices out of it. Okay, I'm not going to fuss around and get everything off this thing, but that's what you would normally do, is get everything off. Do you want the wishbone?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing I couldn't figure out the other day. Okay, it's still there.
And there is the wishbone right there. You're going to have to clean it up, okay? And let it dry out. Okay, again, I mean, you can see on this one, it's obvious that the grain is running like this. And that's exactly how Dad cuts this thing, it's just like
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna get this.
And so we're going right across those grains.
Oh, you're almost cutting out a slant the other way.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you're cutting it
you
really.
just want to see where the grain is, and then you want to go as best you can
Okay.
right across that.
My husband always tries to show me that. He goes, honey, you cut the wrong way. You gotta cut across the grain. And I'm like, whatever. Just cut it.
I was amazed
I
when
don't
you gave
get
this
the
class
grain.
that it will taste different.
Pardon?
I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
I was
it's
just, that was
better.
one of the most
It
amazing
tastes
things I've ever.
tender.
And then we tasted it at that luncheon and it was so true. And I just had no idea that the way you cut it would make a difference in the way it tasted. It was amazing.
It is. Kind of like celery.
But it does make sense when it explains it with the celery.
It would taste, make it more tender, it would change the flavor.
Okay.
We do
Now-
not need it.
Now,
Well,
once,
I mean in the.
now once we
tender
have
way it
this
tastes.
part, now this is,
Tender-wise, more.
see, it looks like that we have just a turkey that's been kind of
Flattened
deflated.
out by a car.
But he's still all there. I mean, his wings, his legs, his thighs, and his breast, hers,
Little turkey plate, that's cute.
are all there. Now, what we want to do, now, see, what I would do, I'd have a bigger platter than that so that it's easy to decorate around.
Okay.
But I would take this now and I would just cover it with tin foil and I'd set it over to the side until Rosemary got the things that she wanted out of the oven. And then I'd say, okay, well, give me, 10, 15 minutes right before. So I heat up the juices. So I've got my juices. Let me get this out of the road. So then I would have my juices and I'd use what I wanted. And if I don't have enough, if I didn't have enough of the turkey juices, I would just take some like chicken base, and I would take the chicken base and I would, make my own little matters if I had to. I would sooner put the juices back on here and use my beef or chicken base to make a gravy, because nobody would tell the difference if I did it that way. And this, they're definitely going to tell the difference. So I would use more of it here, and then what I have left mixed with some chicken base. And you all ought to have some either Nor Swiss or some kind of, the chicken base. I mean, that's
Or
great
the little
stuff.
cubes at least.
Or the cubes. I mean, the other is better. 'Cause
Well, let's
those
do
It's like
cubes
a
dry-
Nor
paste kind of,
Swiss?
isn't it?
Well, Nor Swiss comes in a little container, and it's
Pasty.
yeah, pasty.
Where do you
Yeah.
get it?
Oh, it's not like.
Almost any store.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nor Swiss?
Nor Swiss.
Some kids have Nor.
But it's-
K-N-O-R.
Yeah,
Nor
and
Swiss
when
has tasty.
you, I mean, if you're gonna make any kind of soup, I mean, that just gives you your base for your soup immediately. I mean, it's just.
You can't just use chicken broth, like the cans of chicken broth?
Oh, you can, you
This one's
could.
just more
You
rich.
could. Yeah, this, I mean, you can put a Nor Swiss
I buy from
thing,
Wholesale Foods.
and
I
it
love
stands, I mean, you can keep that, you'll have that for a couple of years, but you always got it. I mean,
Yeah.
instead of storing cans of chicken broth. Okay, all right, so now I'm ready to eat, and so I said, okay, rosemary. We would. And I would normally have these things done ahead of time. What I would do is I would get an apple, and what I would do is
Oh.
When you
You
put
would
it,
not cover the turkey ever? I mean, when
Yeah.
you're cooking it, roasting it.
Not
no,
when
I
you're
don't.
cooking.
No, there's no need to. I mean,
even when you
want-
put it back in the oven?
Yeah.
You have foil on it, don't you? After
Yeah,
you-
yeah, but I would take the foil off
Oh,
and put it
put
back
in
in
the
the
oven?
oven because,
Oh.
140, 150, all you're doing is just putting some warmth back in it. I mean, it's not gonna cook it.
Okay,
Okay, all right, now,
no, he said take the foil off, you just have to cover it in
Foil
oil.
yeah,
just
the only
right.
reason I'm
Okay.
putting foil on it when I put it over on the
Cover it.
counter is just to kind of keep what's there, keep the temperature there, and
Yeah.
to keep the
So no
flies
one
or
would
anything
snitch.
from it.
That's it.
Oh. You've already got the
That he never puts it on the